Why?
Hey, that's pretty good. I have osteoporosis.
All right. What's happening, everybody? This is Mercury's Cast. I'm your host, Travis Montgomery, broadcasting from the internal depths of the fiery swamp that is
infernal, Travis.
Infernal.
For the last one, infernal.
Same thing.
We've been through this.
We've been through a lot together.
I know.
And now I just need you to hold my hand.
I want to hold your hand.
Anyways, please go to Facebook, like the Facebook page, follow us on the Twitter page. There is an Instagram out there that gets some love and attention at some point. Tonight, it's a shoot the shit episode. We've got Alex here as always, sometimes. And we've got Jake back. Jake, why don't you say what's up first, because Alex is into himself.
What's up?
What's up?
How's everything? It's good to be back. It's going good on my end.
Everything over there in the outskirts of Austin, Texas?
It's nice outside. Got a nice cool breeze. Enjoying the night.
How hot was it over there today?
Today wasn't too bad. I'm not sure what it was. It was kind of cool this morning, but this weekend it's supposed to feel like 104. So I got that to look forward to.
And the humidity is crazy too, right?
It's supposed to be. It normally
yet.
Isn't in my neck of the woods, but it will be this weekend because it just rained for like 3 days straight. So, yep.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It's been a while.
Mr. Always Entertaining, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Speaking of the weather, it was actually really it was brisk this morning, and all day it's been relatively cool. The weather up here is phenomenal. Other than that, cover the small talk of the weather. I've been great. It's been a while since we broadcasted, so I'm a little rusty at this.
I think we need to talk more about the weather.
Yes,
it's very important.
The Weather Underground terrorist organization.
The government's controlling it.
Tied to them. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a twin tower conspiracy? I think that was the Weather Underground. There was something regarding them and bombing the Twin Towers van in the basement. I think they were tied to something of the sort.
That is going to be the. Never mind. Let's not do false flag stuff right now. Anyways.
No, I'm saying this is like an event that happened in the past that this is declassified. This is public information. I'm probably wrong about it. I'm wrong about most things, but I do recall reading something about it. Might have been on Fox News, though, or faux news, as most will call it.
Read the white papers, as Alex Jones would say.
Read the white papers. Wait. Read the white papers. Try Ultraman supplements. I'm angry. Excuse me.
They're putting mercury in the vaccines.
It tastes like Ovaltine, but good.
I'm so upset right now. Pardon me. I'm not normally like this.
I'm a Christian. I shouldn't swear.
Sorry for swearing. Excuse me. I'm really perfecting my Alex Jones voice right now. Pardon me.
You're gonna die. 1776 will prevail again.
New World Order. They're trying to take our guns. They're gaying up the frogs. Excuse me.
Did anyone listen to the Joe Rogan episode?
Yes.
With Alex Jones? Hell yeah.
That was fucking awesome. I don't care.
That is the.
I still think
has led up to that.
The best one was the Mike Judge episode.
He's not wrong about everything.
Alex Jones is right about more than.
He's right about more than the mainstream media.
Am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
I agree with Jones with more than I don't. He's so animated. It's so easy for people to disagree with him to make him look like a wacko.
And that's his issue, is delivery. And I would probably value him a lot more if he would just. He's in a position like, okay, we're on a web show that gets What's our average views, Travis? Don't be shy.
Anywhere from 75 to 200.
Okay, so 75 to 200 people watch us. How many people watch the Alex Jones, or what is it? InfoWars.
Millions.
A couple million.
Millions.
Yeah.
So we're on a platform with, millions, if not hundreds of people watching, most likely the latter. We don't necessarily have the same responsibility to integrity and professionalism as, say, someone like Alex Jones. And although he'll claim he's an entertainer, I disagree with that when it comes to his position, because people take him seriously. There are people who live their lives based on Alex Jones. His predictions.
The thing is, though, the thing is, as far as that stuff goes, he's typically close to the mark.
Whether,
the problem
whether
is
he's
that
close to the mark or not is the way he presents it devalues how close he is, and it makes anyone that views those things, which are accurate viewpoints, look crazy.
That's true. And I think that, it comes superficial. They look at aesthetic things rather than the actual arguments or the positions themselves, which is the reason a lot of people tend to try to discredit Alex Jones, because they go back to the things like, they're turning the frogs gay or interdimensional vampires,
It's not that they're turning the frogs gay, they're gaying up the frogs. Get it right.
Only in Kyrgyzstan. No, not really. I got you. Yeah, and then he says some stuff like that, and it's really, you can't take him seriously, I guess. But people
I will repeat, my issue with him is that he says things that I agree with and then pulls off the outrageous antics he pulls and makes me look like an idiot for feeling that way.
He's going down a straight path and then hard left turn into fucking whatever.
Yeah, I like him. I listen to him, but he's not. If I'm, if I'm, red pilling somebody, if you will, I'm not going to point them towards Alex Jones as the source.
He's your Stefan Molyneux. As when I yellow pill people, so to speak, it's a diuretic, might have to piss, hence the yellow. When I yellow pill people, I'm not going to use Stefan Molyneux because I don't want. He has viewpoints that I agree with, but he delivers them in such a way that just makes it unbearable. And then he holds other viewpoints that are just fucking outlandish. So why am I going to use him as an example of my movement, whereas someone who's a little bit deeper ingrained in it can pick the truth from the stupidity? I'll go, check out Stefan Molyneux. This video is pretty good. Wade through the bullshit for a while and you'll get to it. But anyone who's, pardon my phrasing, listening off the street, I'm not going to say, listen to Stefan Molyneux. I will suggest I'll suggest Liberty Talk Live. I'll suggest anything but that, or even the Logical Anarchy podcast. But I would not suggest Stefan Molyneux.
Which positions of his do you particularly disagree with?
The extremes in which he
oh, Lord.
We lose him?
Fidget. Think we did. Good old HP. Half performance.
Can you see me, Travis?
Yeah, I can see you.
Because when you talk, I can't see you. I see like a blank screen.
It might be your internet connection.
It could be. Because when I see a little box, I can see you, but then whenever you talk, it goes to a blank screen.
There we go. Got it.
There we go.
And he's back. Stefan Molyneux.
So Stefan Molyneux. You know how some people will take the Bible and interpret everything literally, and then there are those who take things figuratively or put them into a better perspective.
Right.
Stefan Molyneux is the Bible thumper. Stefan Molyneux is the NAP Bible thumper who takes everything way too far. Tattoos are against the NAP because they're a self-aggression. That breaks the principles of most libertarian thoughts because we own ourselves. We can aggress ourselves all we want because we're a consenting party. You can aggress a consenting party, otherwise sex wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Right. I think you and I, actually, after hearing kind of what you believe about that, I think you and I would agree a little bit more about that than I expected when I first brought up Stefan Molyneux. I mentioned earlier that I made a video called "Libertarians Wake the Fuck Up," and it's basically talking about how so many libertarians out of success and how they weird a lot of people out. They marginalize most of the normal population.
Well, I wouldn't say all. There are charismatic ones. Drew Carey.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking about and then like Penn Jillette's a pretty good one. But there's so many libertarians that do that, and I'm talking. Also one of the things I mentioned in the video is how the NAP, like so many libertarians, primarily the more left-leaning ones, with a severe dedication to the NAP, they rule out the idea of armed revolution against the government. You know what I mean? And you can't. I don't believe that you can ever take that off the table.
I don't. I'm a very left-leaning libertarian.
Left socially, or fiscally, or what?
Very socially left.
The left and
extremely socially left. Extremely fiscally right. Which is why I'm an anarcho-capitalist and not a libertarian.
Right.
You ever see the little political graphs? Where they got the authoritarian, anarchist,
I was about to bring that
libertarian, socialist. I fall in the very tippy corner of anarchist and conservative right. I'm in the far right corner. My dot is right there at the crazy spectrum of it, and that's because anyways, left libertarians, they're a little bit less inclined for it, but ultimately the government is an aggressor, and the NAP allows for equal aggression. If you refuse to pay taxes, they will come after you with guns, and it is well within the NAP to use guns to fend them off.
The non-aggression principle. It's
libertarianism. It's the fundamental beliefs of. Didn't you see any of the Gary Johnson sound bites from the election? By the way, libertarians are allowed in there's a court ruling now against the media. Essentially, they have to let libertarians and the Green Party into the next presidential debates.
Really?
Hell yeah!
So that America can finally hear a voice. Well,
I think that's good because I hate the RNC and the DNC.
There were over 1 million libertarian voters this last election. 4% of the voting populace voted libertarian.
What were they required to get to the debate this time? Was it 5 or 15%?
5%.
5.
They fell just short. But those standards they found are unconstitutional and are illegal. They're not applied equally to the parties, and they don't allow for proper regulation of parties, or at least that's what the court ruling found.
It's a way for them to keep only Republicans and Democrats in there.
Yeah. So courts ruled against them, and now they have to let them in because it's been shown. Basically, what happened was last election, libertarians were told you need to do this, this, and this. So this election, they did. They were on the ballot in all 50 states, which was one of the requirements for the election, and then they got another rule imposed upon them after they'd already met those guidelines. It was just to keep them out, and it was unfair. And as much as I don't like Gary Johnson, he still deserved an equal spot on that stage because he has worked his ass off for it.
Mm-hmm.
He climbed Mount Everest. He climbed Mount fucking Everest. Let him on the stage. How many fucking politicians have climbed Mount Everest? He was a self-built businessman, built up his company with a fucking lawnmower and a pair of gloves. He didn't have a small loan of $1 million either. Built it up to the largest landscaping company in New Mexico. That's noteworthy, and I think he deserved a spot on that stage. Whether I don't like him, I think he's
I don't like Gary Johnson either. I agree, though.
I think he's a Democrat in disguise, but he still deserved a spot on that stage.
It's important for
I agree on both points.
people in this country to not just see the left and the right arguments, that there's a third or fourth kind of opinion brought to the table, because the two-party system sucks.
Most Americans would prefer libertarianism.
As long as there's a two-party system, they're going to have this divide in the country where one person's after another, and you're either, there's a line in the sand, you're either on one side or the other. But no, there could be a couple lines in the sand where you stand, they make you sign on the paper that, yes, I am a part of this party. And I really think it's dumb. The two-party system is, and you can see, like what you're saying about Gary Johnson, and what they're trying to make these special rules so that he's not allowed to debate, which is just like, it's stupid.
What are they afraid of?
To keep us under control, I think.
Now,
I agree, and I think the lines right now are being redrawn between left and right, and it's going to be more authoritarian versus libertarian. Not libertarian, the party, obviously, but the belief. You could say the anarchist side. Yeah, because, like Dave Rubin, for example, is definitely a lefty, but I can agree with Dave Rubin on so many more things than I can with a neocon or a neoliberal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's more people that side on the side of liberty or those that don't.
Would you rather then, if we could redo the election and you were given a choice to vote between Clinton, Trump, seeing how things have turned out so far, or Vermin Supreme, who would you vote for?
Trump.
I'd vote for Trump. And if we were running the country, then Trump would be president. I think we have a frozen Alexander.
Can't.
We might.
Wait, there. Yep. Oh. Got it back. So, Vermin Supreme, I didn't hear the answers. Vermin Supreme, Clinton, or Trump?
I say Trump still.
I'd vote Vermin all the way. I'd vote Vermin all the way.
I mean, as a joke, or
when he paid his registration. Did you see the video of him paying for his presidential registration?
No.
He paid in $20 bills, all of which were stamped, saying this money is not to be used for bribery or illegal activities.
Which is cool,
Every
but
single bill.
He's out there. You can't put somebody like that in charge of the country.
But you'd vote for Trump.
Well, I definitely think Trump is more qualified than Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme has ran in every year for an office. I think, as far as politics is concerned, he's far more qualified as a politician.
I mean, does he take himself
but I mean, what
seriously?
are his beliefs? He talks.
Everybody's going to get a pony.
Ponies.
Yeah, but he also, as a disclaimer, says, on all of those videos, you'll hear him say, everything I've just said is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not intend to keep any of these promises.
So at least we know that we're being lied to then.
Yes, he's honest about lying to you.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see. Let me pose one that's a little bit more believable. John McAfee, crazy gringo, Clinton or Trump.
See, I don't know anything about John McAfee other than McAfee antivirus.
He was implicated in some murder trial. That's pretty badass.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, from what I've heard him speak, I think he's a reasonable, intelligent guy.
Yeah.
From what I know,
he is. He's extremely paranoid.
I've heard some interesting stuff from him on tech, but I have no idea of anything else about him.
He's paranoid. He's pro gun rights. He's pro civil liberties. He's a true libertarian, as opposed to a libertarian light like Gary Johnson. He's my kind of libertarian.
I can get down with
that.
So
basically, what I'm asking is, would you vote for an actually qualified me for president over our current two candidates? Political views.
If it came down to everybody's political views, I would definitely vote for the true libertarian candidate. The problem is when it comes down to actual elections, they're so much more reliant than the actual views. I mean, with the obstructionist parties and the media and everything, you need somebody that can adequately deal with that. So, I mean, based purely on the beliefs alone, I would definitely vote for the purely libertarian candidate over
imagine
Donald Trump.
imagine if America had gotten that third voice and it was a purely libertarian voice, which is very socially liberal, so it appeals to the left, and it's very fiscally conservative, so it appeals to the right. I think that America would have overwhelmingly came out in support of that third voice.
If we had that, I don't think we would have needed a Donald Trump. I don't think we would have needed Trump if we had that voice.
We wouldn't have. We would have gotten an anti-establishment person running who's actually anti-establishment.
I don't look at Donald Trump as the end. I look at him as a means to an end.
Yeah, I do too.
If that makes sense.
Dude, I've been saying it for a long time. He is a means to the anarchy I want.
Yep. Exactly.
He's shaking up the system, which
he is ruffling feathers. He's ruffling feathers that have been long covered in dust. He's shaking up the White House in a really bad way, and it's such a good feeling for me because that office has stagnated, especially with his predecessor. It has stagnated so much in just sticking within the safe zones of what's acceptable, and he will outrage enough Americans. In fact, later on, I've got a little conspiracy theory of my own that I'd like to run past you guys. And
I heard a really interesting thing about Donald Trump, an analysis, because if you notice, his demeanor has changed very much from candidate Trump. Like his beliefs and everything are for the most part still the same, but he acts much different. And because normally once somebody's elected, he's trying to unite the country right now. That's why he didn't say, Hillary's a great lady, but he kind of backed off of the lock her up stuff. So I think he was kind of trying to keep people together, not be so inflammatory. But now he's realized that that's not working, because now out of the White House, from sources like InfoWars and Mike Cernovich, if you listen to him, there's a lot of people's heads are on the chopping block now because Trump realizes that he's not going to get anything done by trying to unite and play the game. So now he's coming, because there's a bunch of people on a firing list right now that are not playing Trump's game.
And he wants to. He's also a consummate winner, so he can't look weak. So whatever he does has to be in his good image.
Exactly, and that's another huge thing, is that he operates, whether you agree with his policies or not, he operates in the way that a president should. Not talking about the gaffes and the
sometimes.
And but I'm talking about from always trying to play from a position of strength, severely need, not apologizing, because that's the only thing that Russia respects, the Middle East, so many other countries they're not going.
Look at how he shakes hands. That's what I say for it's the most telling body language you can see from someone in a position of authority is how they shake hands. In his case, he shakes hands in a very authoritative way. Yeah, he exerts dominance. Exactly. And I'm not a huge fan of power plays, but I would much rather see that than him bowing
towards him.
I don't want to see a leader who's bowing to other people.
Exactly,
both figuratively and literally.
Figuratively with the capitulation that we've seen from past presidents to radical Islam and to other aggressive nations, but also in literal ways. I mean, Obama bowed to the Saudi king, things along those lines.
I get a lot of hate for it, but I would wager to say, and Trump included, we have not had a good president since probably one of the shittiest presidents in history, and that's Andrew Jackson. Trail of Tears.
Why do you cut it off, Jackson?
Because he did. I think he single-handedly saved our country, or at least prolonged its lifespan by destroying centralized banking. When he did. Him killing centralized banking allowed our country to prosper in the ways that it did, and the price my ancestors paid for that, I think, was justified for the I guess the great benefits that they now can, capitalize upon. All that casino money. Now, I don't think that justifies the Trail of Tears in any way before I have fucking going on, and my inbox fills up with even more hate mail or death threats. And being an ANCAP, I'm allowed to autistic screech because it is a scientific fact that all anarcho-capitalists are autistic in some way, shape, or form. We are all on the spectrum. We are allowed to go read all we want. We're allowed to. That's our word. That being said, what do you guys think about this? I think Trump is going to be impeached. I think it's going to be another Clinton impeachment, meaning he will still be in office after he is impeached. And I think he will be impeached on perhaps falsified information. I think the media will leak something that is so damning that it can't be ignored, and it will most likely be fabricated. But fabricated or not, it will be so appalling that it will totally ruin any credibility he has remaining. I mean, he doesn't have much to begin with, but it will ruin all of his remaining credibility as president, as commander-in-chief, and he will be impeached.
I definitely agree. And I mean, the Republican Party is doing that as well. The Republican Party hates Trump.
But yeah, part of them do, because he ran as an independent within the Republican Party. So when he does something they like, they back him. But when he does something they don't like, they fucking
way to get on the stage.
Sorry about that. I cut out.
I honestly,
I think they hate him because he's. Sorry, I was just going to say I think the Republican Party hates him because they see him as another rabble rouser, another.
Yeah, well, he's. I mean,
big changer.
His big thing, drain the swamp, wasn't just Democrats. Like, because so far it's been Republicans saying Democrats are the problem and Democrats saying Republicans are the problem. He's saying the entirety of Washington, D.C. and the current power establishment is the problem.
Yeah,
and the RNC
I would love to see Trump. Would America be if Trump enacted term limits retroactively?
Oh God, yes.
Imagine if he retroactively enacted term limits, didn't grandfather anyone. How much of DC would be left?
The whole media and the information and the leaking. Who the hell is leaking the information to the media? Because every week we have something new that's being leaked to the media somehow, and that's supposed to be like classified information. Where the hell is it coming from?
It's Republican establishment people within the Trump administration.
How much of that information is fake?
Yeah, that's also true.
Probably 50%. I would guess.
Fuck, I'm not sold on the Podesta pizza party. I'm to establish to our audience, I am a skeptic. I'm not sold on the Podesta pizza party yet. You have to sell me on that. Much like the media would have to sell me on damning evidence against Trump, leaks against Trump. Even though I don't like the Cheeto dust bastard, he's still in charge, and I haven't seen anything particularly damning of him. The only critiques I'll give him is his eagerness to get into Syria after the only thing he had really over Clinton was that he wasn't a warmonger.
Well, see, he did say we're not putting boots on the ground, though, and he did say that he would bomb the hell out of ISIS.
Whereas Clinton was talking about a no-fly zone.
Inevitably cause war.
Well, a lot of people don't know that a no-fly zone, what it entails is boots on the ground, and it is an officially, accepted act or declaration of war.
Yeah, if you fly in this area,
zone isn't as hands. Yeah, and you need boots on the ground to do that for, anti-air defense systems. You need operators on the ground. You need boots on the ground. You need grunts. You need grunts and pogs on the ground to, start the military machine up.
Yeah, because
supply
what
lines.
If somebody actually does fly in there, they shoot a plane down, and then we're at war. They need boots already on the ground.
Yep. It's scary. It is very scary. I'm glad there's not been thermonuclear war yet.
To go off of your Trump impeachment thing, that's one thing that I've brought up in videos before. I think that Trump is either going to obstruct him so much he won't be able to get anything done, he will be impeached, or he'll be killed. And at that point, we're going to have a much more serious problem on our hands, because with the political climate right now,
Pence.
with the political climate right now, like, people aren't just going to be okay with Trump getting assassinated. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're not going to be okay with it, but there's going to be unrest, and I think
there's going to be a lot of people that are okay with it that warrant.
Well, there are people that will be happy, but then there will be people that are extremely. I think that would be a perfect way to cause a civil war, to kill Trump.
Huh? Yeah. And then,
by the way, I just want to mention for the the NSA listening in on us, we are not suggesting that should happen. In fact, if you guys could keep the government agencies out and not do that, that'd be swell. Please and thank you. But yeah, we're not suggesting that in any way, shape, or form, NSA. Just letting you know. We're just mentioning that it might be a possibility, and that maybe you guys should, take extra precautions to prevent that from happening. Maybe, please. We are in no way advocating for it. We are against it.
Well, let me disagree with you there. I am going to. Just kidding.
Oh, I'm all for it, but gotta please the NSA.
Going to be assassinated. It's probably him, and everyone thought that Obama was going. Some white hillbilly racist was going to come out of the shadows and execute Obama, and that never happened.
I mean, see, the thing is, though,
it's going to be a BLM activist.
While it was pretty bad when Obama got elected, a lot of people were like, we didn't have the actual riots and stuff that are going on now. We didn't have the people actually.
That's true. There was plenty of hate speech, but no actual.
Plenty of hate speech, which isn't even a real thing. But there was no There was no actual. Saw in Berkeley or Ferguson. No, Ferguson obviously was not a reaction to this, but they are on that left side, and we can see what they're willing to do.
Well, if you think about it, who are the only ones that do the rioting and the looting and the violent protests?
It's always the leftists.
White people.
It's always the damn white left.
Trust fund commies.
Trust fund commies. Yep. Ironically, I just want to point out, I'm not. I know your upbringing, Travis. I'm not sure about yours, but I can say that I've noticed that a lot of these little commie kids had it a lot better than me growing up.
Yes, all of them.
They never wanted for anything. They're not children of divorce. They're kids with middle class parents who fund their Ivy League colleges and their nice state unis. Meanwhile, the conservative. Yeah, I do actually. I agree with him a lot. I find him very repugnant, but enjoyable to listen to.
Right, and one thing I like that he says is he talks about these Antifa kids. They're LARPing.
Yeah,
this is like, you know what I mean? They're LARPing because they're white suburban middle class kids who find no purpose in their life, so they feel like they have to take up this morally indignant class struggle that they try to force their reality into the world. The supply of Nazis doesn't meet the demand, so they start creating them.
And they're not really good at anything. Like, I couldn't even get off to fucking moldy locks. I couldn't even get off to that. No, it's so gross. I tried. Seriously. I've tried. I tried.
That's
I put in a good college try.
That's the another thing is, like, a lot of people say on the McInnes side of things, like, people like him, is like, these people are just they like the things that piss their white Christian dads off.
Yeah.
That's what
hairy porn and throwing IEDs, which isn't a really that I want to point out. If there are any Antifa listening here trying to dox me, good luck for one, because I don't believe in gun control. Just throwing that out there. And two,
Texas and stand your ground. So please fuck with me.
Oh, it's odd because California has some of the same protections. We're one of the few open carry states left, believe it or not. That being said as well, it's not a good idea to throw IEDs into a crowd primarily composed of war veterans. I'm just going to point that out because some of them are going to lose their shit, and you're going to end up with a fucking like knife through your chest.
Don't realize,
you're playing with fire.
They don't realize that people on the right, typically, if you had to pick a side that knows how to fight, it will be the right, because they're not the everybody wins type, everybody gets a trophy type.
We're competitive. What I mean? We're competitive.
Exactly. We're competitive. We're aggressive. We're not afraid of contact sports, and grow up getting in fist fights and stuff. Whereas the liberal lefties, not so much. So they don't realize that, because when I was in New Orleans at Lee Circle, the Robert E. Lee Monument, we had to vacate the premises because there was a bomb threat at one point from Antifa. Lord. They don't realize that if they blow somebody up or something and that doesn't work, if they bring guns, whatever it is, the right is not going to sit back and take it. They're not going to bow to their domestic terrorism.
They'll have casualties, but they will eradicate Antifa.
They don't realize that there are no Nazis now. But if you want to see right-wing death squads, a good way to do it is go to Trump rallies and start fucking killing people.
Yep.
I don't think that we're that far away.
By the way, NSA, nobody here condones right-wing death squads. Nobody here is advocating for them. We're just pointing out the eventuality of them in those circumstances. Thank you, almighty government, for listening to us.
I like to joke that on any given day, you can find me anywhere on the spectrum between a libertarian dedicated to the NAP and start the helicopters right-wing death squad now.
You're aware that the helicopters are an ANCAP thing, right?
I think the helicopters.
We started that shit. That shit.
I know, and I think ANCAP and
we're the pilots.
And I think the right wingers could get on board for some commie killing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Into giant fans, even just hover over giant fans.
Oh yeah,
or the ocean. Most of them can't swim.
That's the way to bring the rest of the country together. Is just
helicopter rides, free helicopter rides, complimentary. Helicopter, yeah, helicopter-based economy. I think a rotor-powered aircraft-based economy would be ideal for America at this point in time.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Free skydiving lessons.
Yeah, parachute free, just like that dude in Simi Valley.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What the hell is going on with people?
No, I'm talking about the Simi Valley dive where he jumped into a net.
Yeah,
and lived.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's where I used to skydive. Back when I was living in Camarillo.
You've skydived
before? Old roommate was the owner of the skydiving company that took that guy up.
Oh, nice.
At least I think that was the company. He might have gone up with a different company, but I'm fairly certain that's the only skydive place operating out of Simi.
I've never skydove before, and I mean, I've thought about it. I was airborne infantry, but I ended up being a dirty leg, so never got to jump out of a plane.
What's a dirty leg?
But so airborne infantry thinks that they're better than everybody else. They call legs. Light infantry is what we're called, and they call us legs.
It's kind of like grunts call people who are not grunts pogs, people other than grunts. It's a derogatory remark.
It's a superiority complex thing that we have to do to tell ourselves that everything is worth it.
Yeah, and then the officers just shit on everyone and go, "I get paid more than you."
But it's cool because we get to berate the officers in their college degrees.
Yep. So yeah, skydiving, it's all right. I don't see myself ever doing it again.
Why is it just all right, not like completely amazing?
Because it doesn't last very long, so it's anticlimactic in that way, and it's expensive as fuck. And I don't want to waste. It's kind of like to me going to a theme park. I don't want to waste my money going somewhere packed and crowded, potentially risking my life for like a few seconds of glory while waiting in a line for hours. And that's what skydiving is.
Huh.
Yeah, I've never really gotten
I mean-
the appeal of it too much.
And you can't jump solo until you've gotten a few hundred jumps.
Oh, so
Hold on
you're
one second, I can get on my
Dude.
dog in real quick.
You're strapped to a dude, and he might get an adrenaline boner.
what? Hopefully.
And he's on your back, so might get
You
poked.
really need a few hundred?
Yeah, it's almost as tedious as learning to fly a plane. You ever see how many flights you need to be able to fly?
I know a guy who bought a plane and actually went through the pilot's course and everything, and now he just fucking flies wherever the fuck he wants to. But
To go commercial, you need like I think a few thousand hours of flight.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yep.
A couple thousand.
And I'm not even talking about, Flight Sim 10, some Bat Sim shit. I'm talking the expenses of fucking airplane fuel. It's an expensive hobby. And if you don't plan on turning it into a career, it's a pretty worthless hobby.
yep.
Unless you're not on fixed wing aircraft and instead for rotor aircraft, in which case it might be a very lucrative field to go into here soon.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well,
what before we do I'm very intrigued to hear what you guys think about the Flint, Michigan crisis. This is old news that I'm going to dig back up because I think it's funny that Obama sat on his hands and Trump, our glorious Cheeto, sent millions of dollars and shit's still not getting done. And it's all the Republicans' fault. And I love blaming Republicans for things, but what's odd is that in Flint, Michigan, it seems to be that Democrats reign supreme there. So what's going on? They do a lot of virtue signaling. They're clearly the morally superior group of people. What's going on there, guys?
personally, I feel like there should have been a state of emergency declared, and we needed to do whatever we could to get those people clean water.
Now, you're aware that the Flint crisis is their water quality is actually higher than hundreds of cities in the U.S. There are hundreds of cities with worse water than Flint, right?
Even at
I am aware of that.
Middle of the crisis.
Yeah, it's not a standalone event. They're just the only ones who haven't done anything about it, and they're the only ones to receive the federal aid that they did. The rest of the cities just figured it out on their own.
Yeah, I'm really not very sure. I haven't really done I know what's going on in Flint, but I haven't really looked very much at the ins and outs of it. Speak to it too much, but
Yeah, we covered it.
Did
I didn't know. I don't know about other cities not having clean water. I think if we're living in America and we're supposed to be the greatest nation in the world, we shouldn't have water equal to third world nations. So that should be maybe at the top of the list. Clean drinking water.
I call a foul on America signaling. Greatest nation of all.
as
I'm going
a
to call a
token
foul on that one.
alt-right guy, I have to disagree.
I'm all
no.
center.
You guys can feel free to make a motion to have that redacted, but for the time being, that stays on record. Stenographer, I hope you got that. Well, what's interesting about that is I did a piece on logical-anarchy.com about how government interference in utility companies, particularly, they're essentially state-enforced monopolies. If you know anything about utility companies and how their contracts work, you'll see that it's really just a state enforced monopoly. And you don't buy their product, they come and evict you.
Yep.
Like Caltrans?
Like all sorts of shit. And I'm also very disappointed we aren't covering single-payer healthcare in Southern California right now, because that's a good topic. But we'll save that one for another day.
Next week.
What's interesting about all of this, though, is, and check out that article, really, because it involves the solar panels in Nevada and how the government's kind of reneging on all that shit, and people just invested in solar panels that they're now.
Oh yeah, they're starting fucking
They fucked
backtracking
people.
this shit.
Yeah, they fucked people, and it's the government fucking
They're
people
stupid.
There's a
fucking
lot of
subsidies.
solar shit out here in Bakersfield,
to keep.
but continue.
And what's crazy, though, is the government is fucking people over that they promised those subsidies to, just to keep,
Yep.
dirty energy alive. And mind you, it's not super dirty because most of the electricity is hydroelectric, but it isn't all clean energy. We all know that. And they're trying to keep an outdated infrastructure in place by high taxation demands, fees, fines, and lowering rates, making it to where it's not even worth it. Your solar panels will never pay for themselves because you're feeding into a grid that isn't paying you for electricity, even though you have to pay for electricity from that grid.
Originally,
And
that's how it was
totally
supposed to work.
fucked. And that's what Flint was dealing with. It wasn't a matter of whether or not clean water could get there. It was a matter of government fucking corruption, keeping the pockets lined of people who had better interests than the people of Flint, Michigan. And those are Democrats, I might add, who are supposed to be the bleeding heart fucking hippies that have America's best interest in mind, calling me heartless because I don't agree with single-payer healthcare.
They switched the water source without doing the proper measures for cleaning out the other water pipes that they were supposed to use. You're supposed to use a chemical that will help treat the water pipes so you don't get brown water.
Yeah, they were supposed to flush it, but they didn't. Because they're fucking lazy and all they care about is lining their own pockets.
Yep.
Sorry, I was asking you guys that question, and I actually got heated about it because as heartless as people will paint me, I actually do have a soft spot for fucking poor people because I am one.
Mm-hmm.
Stop fucking us over. I'm talking to you, liberals.
Yeah, fucking liberals.
I mean, that's the fucking thing, is that they're the ones that talk about all the social programs, all that stuff. But if you look at every liberal,
They're the champions
city,
of the
it's
poor.
a hellhole. Yeah, exactly. They're the working class's man, right? But if you look at every liberal-run city for the past 5 decades at least, those are all the hellholes in the country.
I kind of look at that situation like whoever the dude was that made the decision that at the time the mayor just made a bad decision. That's what I thought at the time. It was a really bad decision.
You look into this and you see a fuck ton of corruption. It isn't about a bad decision. It is corruption. Tangible, visible corruption. Where the fuck did that $100 million go? My dad is my biological father is a blue-collar Democrat. He's a Democrat who is for unionization and fucking workers' advocacy. Mind you, I hate unions, but he and I have our disagreements. But he's a blue-collar liberal who's in touch with what it's like to be a part of the working class in America. And he hates he refused to vote this election. My father, who has voted in every election, just to spite my mother, who votes on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, refused to vote. Clearly, what I'm seeing a lot of in online threads, especially with this Flint shit, and then that the King Gold Mine, that fiasco with the EPA. If any of you followed that, where they dumped hundreds of thousands of gallons of toxic water into a EPA, they do that.
It sounds familiar.
What's happened is that the I think it's called the Gold King Mine. Look into that one after the show. What's happening is the Democrat Party is changing, and it's losing people who were Democrats because they actually care about what the Democrat Party used to stand for. Right. And I don't think anyone in this chat would disagree that the Democrat Party used to stand for something else, something more reasonable.
Absolutely. And even though I would still disagree with the old Democratic Party on a lot of things, at least that they were at least, I don't know if I would say genuine, because I have an aversion to
Sane?
saying that any politician is genuine, but they were at least, the things that they wanted were at least semi-reasonable, and they actually what they thought were solutions. And that's why, I mean, but if you look at it now,
Final solutions.
but if you look at like the Rust Belt now, that's the reason that Trump won, because people, those blue collar Democrats in the Midwest,
my
Democratic Party,
my home.
Yeah,
I was in Ohio for the election, by the way. You know how surprised I was to see all those fucking Trump signs? They were everywhere.
Because, and that's the thing.
I was in a traditionally Democrat town too. Like, these are all just like my dad, blue collar Democrats. I saw Trump signs everywhere.
That's what people don't like. People on the left love to paint Trump as this far right extremist, but Trump is in the middle at best. Trump, like a lot of the positions Trump holds, are like very old-fashioned Democratic positions. He holds some Republican beliefs too, but
he's socially liberal. He's socially liberal in a lot of ways. His wife did porn, tasteful nude photo shoots. Oh, Melania.
Oh, Melania.
Oh, Ivanka. I don't know.
But then the thing about Trump too is that he's kind of a populist. Is that he's going to cave, and
yeah. Okay, this one is for token alt lighter. What do you think about, like, and I think it's obvious, so you can disagree with me. I'm fine with that. This is an opinion, but I seriously think Trump regrets running. I don't think he expected to win. I don't think he wanted to win. He seems so unenthused about his job now.
I think he definitely expected something different. And he even said, I mean, he said in an interview, he was like, it's different than I thought it would be. He said that.
I don't think you can prepare yourself for that kind of responsibility.
Yeah. And I wouldn't go so far to say that he didn't want to win. I don't know if he expected to win. I think he was playing to win, but he might have expected that he would lose. I don't know. But I do think that he wanted to win. I just didn't think he quite understood exactly what would be going on, but I think that I think he was genuine in his. I think
he was genuine in wanting to put egg on Obama's. I think he just wanted to put egg on Obama's face for humiliating him, and he did a good job of it.
Could be. I think that played a part in it. I think he was genuine in what he wanted to do. As you know, he may not have the most rock solid positions on a lot of things. He shifts around a lot, but I think that he genuinely believes in his slogan. And I think that that's what brought a lot of people over, because I think that a lot of people knew that, you know, he wasn't like the most solid guy, as much as I wish that he would be, and he is on some things. But I think people just appreciate the fact that he patriotic for things that we
America. Oh, that's so cute. Gay.
Single tear.
Love you, wifey.
Alex says he loves you, Alexander.
Me? This guy's been crazy. Yeah,
Hey, what? Oh, I thought you said boob. Never mind. I'm
boob.
Sorry.
Boob. I want to hear Donald Trump. I want to hear Donald J. Trump say the word boob on television. Beeb. How would he say it? Beeb. Beeb.
I have no idea.
Oh, we do have a Trump.
When me and Melania get in the bedroom, I get to see a little boob.
I'm very ashamed that I don't have a solid Trump impression down at this point.
My Alex Jones is getting there, though. You guys got to admit, my Alex Jones.
Dropped
It's getting there.
I can do it. I can do a
Almost
solid
another
Alex Jones, but I have to get pretty loud, and I've got sleeping people right next to me.
Really loud. Get angry. Excuse me.
Tremendous.
Skip the break. This is too important.
Skip the break. This is too important. Man.
I'm an explorer. I'm an American. His whole
I'm sorry, I'm a
spiel.
Christian.
Jet fuel cannot melt the dank memes. I'm angry. Excuse me. It's unbecoming.
You try and
No.
take our guns? We're coming for you.
1776.
My favorite is when he gets all up in the mic and he like growls like, "My spirit is against you, you globalist."
You global warmongers, my spirit is against you.
I
That-
honestly
that
don't know how he fucking does it because he has a 4-hour show. And he's always on
Watch the
Facebook
Mike.
Live.
Yeah, my throat hurts. Watch the Mike Judge interview. Watch it.
Mike Judge.
Because Mike Judge does his Alex Jones impression on Alex Jones's show, and that's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Mike Judge is the guy behind King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead.
Butthead.
Uh,
Got to say that one first.
hearing him all conservative, but he's not necessarily Alex Jones conservative.
The
Yeah.
funniest Alex Jones is when him and Joey Diaz were on. You got to go watch it.
Dude, he was so fucking high.
Who?
I'm
Both of
actually.
Alex
Well,
Jones was.
I'm watching me some
exceptional.
McGinnis videos tonight, but if you guys get a chance, check out this. And anyone listening, I don't know if we've got any live listeners, watchers, but I can't check those statistics. Someone else has the reins. But I will say, check out those congressional hearing videos on the YouTubes. They are so satisfying, and they're
Are those
probably
are those
the only.
past couple weeks?
Those are over the past couple months, and they're very,
Okay, I've seen those.
very entertaining. There are a few very recent ones, but they're very entertaining. And they're, in my opinion,
Ted Cruz calls Mitch McConnell a liar on the Senate floor.
I haven't seen that one. I've mostly been focusing on that the oversight for Department of Justice, for Homeland Security.
Oh yeah.
These are ridiculous hearings, and the
What's that?
antics.
What's
The
that
fact
guy's
that
name?
government. I'm trying to remember his name.
You
I
said
can
it
just go through
earlier.
my YouTube history.
Trey
Yeah.
Gowdy and Jason
Trey Gowdy.
Shields.
That's
That guy-
the other one I couldn't remember. I know Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy's a fucking. You ever see? You ever watch Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
He's Colonel Hans Landa's character, but for government. What do they call that guy? What's his nickname? The Jew Hunter or something?
There's the Bear Jew.
No, the Bear Jew is one of the Inglourious
Yeah, it's
Bastards.
one of the
No, Hans Landa is known as
bastards.
He's known as something.
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
Okay, so for instance, Travis, in my suggested feed, Jason Chaffetz uses Amazon.com to price check the government spending. This is ridiculous.
I think
Like-
I've seen that one.
This
I've
this
seen that
stuff
one.
is so surreal because you see the people, the members of our government, doing this shit so nonchalantly that you know that this is their normal way of doing things. And the fact that it's taking these hearings to correct this shit is so demoralizing. This is stuff that went on in 2011, 2010, 2009 that's getting brought up. Was watching one on a whistleblower. This whistleblower's advice hasn't been heeded, even though it was proven by another department to be correct and accurate, and that it was very likely to actually be going on. It had taken them 4 years to even start the internal investigation. It is so demoralizing, and people wonder why I'm an anarchist. I go, watch these hearings. This is what your government's been doing, and these two politicians are not enough to fix this. it would take a full house sweep, and that's not going to happen. It's good to know that you have an STD.
I was just wondering
good
if
to
you
know.
could see that.
It's good to know. It's probably the herp. That never goes away.
No, it's the clap.
Oh, okay. Oh, penicillin. Either way, check those videos out for one, Travis, because if you haven't been, you're just missing out on some. This is primo content.
Who is it?
Primo content.
McGinnis?
Primo.
It is A-OK.
It's A-OK. Premium. That's how Italians do it.
Hey, I'm Italian. All right.
Italian. I don't know. I'm a fucking mutt. I've had my genetics framed, but check this shit out. It is insane, and I think our guest will vouch for me on that. This shit is.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I think we are just about out of time, gentlemen.
You're out of time. You're out of order.
It's getting a
This
little
whole
late
damn court's
here.
out of order.
Hey, you stop
You wouldn't
that.
know. You can't handle the truth. Fuck it. Well, this is Alexander. Fuck you. Signing off. It was great to have Travis on the show when he occasionally pops up. It's always good.
I do what I can,
Welcome,
man.
special guest Jake tonight. He's been a trooper. Definitely look forward to having you back on the show. Pretty much
Yeah,
any
looking forward
time.
to it.
You've got an open invitation from me because I actually look forward to some. I want to actually go at it in a debate against you. I feel like it could be very fun.
I would love that.
And it can be even
Debating
be a
gets me off.
hypothetical one. I want to debate something that neither of us agree with either side that we're debating for. I
That's
just
the
want a
best.
good, clean, good old fashioned debate where nobody wins. You know, because everyone gets an award. Yeah, at any rate, I think all of our listeners, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, Travis's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know, you can change the name on there.
Oh,
Like our Facebook page. That would be very much appreciated. We'll leave a link to that in the doobly-doo.
good idea.
Check out, Jake, do you want to go ahead and plug your...
Yeah,
You're it.
I'll shamelessly plug myself like the attention whore I am. Pretty much what I am on all social media. It's Jake Lloyd on YouTube or at Cool Glaze, cool_glaze. That's pretty much where you can find me anywhere on the internet. So appreciate having me on.
What about your writing? We want you to plug your writing.
My writing, I write for thedailylion.com. It's an independent alternative media source and soon based in LA. Definitely check those guys out. Right now they just do video on YouTube, but they're doing really, really well over there. They've got
We
a
need
big
more
subscriber
independent
base.
news sources.
Yes.
Fake news.
And if you
Um,
like people getting triggered, based in LA is great because it's a gay Trump supporter. So it's awesome.
It's always entertaining.
Milo.
I'll go ahead and shamelessly plug mine again, but this time I'll just say go to logical-anarchy.com if you need any leftist debate tactics, because we've been a little bit of an echo chamber lately, and that's all we're writing is fighting the left. We'll focus on the right at a later time, but if any of you have enjoyed this episode or even the last one, you'll definitely enjoy what we've been publishing. Do you have any shameless plugs, Travis? Maybe your Twitter?
UFC Recap is another podcast that I do. We've only got one episode, but I got a team of MMA geniuses on board. There's a website coming with mass promotion. It's going to be huge.
Huge.
It's going to be huge.
Well,
Huge.
buenos tardes, mi amigo.
Hey, we used to
Good
have
night.
a
Adios,
we used to have a
muchachos.
catchphrase. It used to be "Step your game up," but how about now we just say "Free Kekistan"?
Yeah, free Kekistan. I think that'll trigger some of our lefty guests, especially the
Fuck them.
special someone we've got planned for next week.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah, on that
how
one.
bad would it be to have Jake on that one? Oh, Oh.
Lefty coming on.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna get her on, and we're gonna end. She's gonna end up leaving, but we're gonna.
I think she'll
I'm
leave
gonna try
with
and get her
me,
on.
and oh, this is not.
I gotta get some content
Oh.
out of her. We should act like we're coddling her a little bit, and then just unleash the fury.
Do not publish this episode until that episode is recorded, because I have been debating feminists for a very long time.
My favorite
Since
thing.
since this guy's been he was probably somewhere in fucking bumfuck Egypt when I was doing this shit. This is any viewers that want to. By the time this is posted, it should be that the episode that I'm talking about should be live. So if you missed that episode, you'll want to go back and view it, because it's gonna be a doozy.
All right, well, now I got some work to do.
No. Good night, viewers. We love you. Well, some of you.
Free Kyrgyzstan.
Free kick.